Welcome back, everybody. Hot Mic rolls on. Football Friday edition here. We mentioned earlier, we visited with Kevin Feeney as the Spuds and Alex have a monster game in 5A football. Another team in our area in Minnesota that's cruising along at 6-0. Fergus Falls after a dynamite start in 2024. And they've been blitzing people. They beat Perham big on the road. They've had a big win over Little Falls. They have a big one tonight with Thief River Falls. Our pleasure to welcome on, making his Hot Mic debut with us, Fergus Falls head coach Chris Grabowska is good enough to join us here on a game day morning. Coach, thanks for the time. Congrats on a great start. Tell me the biggest reason why the Otters have been so good in 2024.
Well, thanks for the congrats there. I just think it starts with off-season preparation. Our kids have put in the work and they hit the weight room hard, and we got to go to some camps this summer and see how we stack up to our competition, and did a lot of field work this summer. And we just kind of got a good head start heading into the season with our summer work, and then we just kind of been working hard and putting it all together this season. So it's been great. It's been fun. And we have a lot of experience that came back, and that's also a contributing factor.
I guess off the top of my head, you won 2 games last year, so I think on the outside probably people weren't expecting a whole lot. What about for you internally when you had that kind of summer? Like, we're going to be better regardless of whatever happens. I know we're going to be better.
Yeah, I think coaching staff and players, we expected this coming into the season, and we knew a lot of our games last year, they were close ones, a lot of one-score losses, and even the games that we lost by big, they were close for a majority of the games. So we thought that if we could just buckle down and do the things that need to be done to be in this position, we could get it done.
The win over Eastside a couple weeks ago, both unbeaten. You've beaten DGF. You got another one over Perham, as I mentioned. Just those are traditional, really good schools in our area. Just what has that done each week, confidence-wise, for your team?
Well, I definitely think each week as we prepare going into the game, we're always confident that we have a good game plan, and we just treat each week like we're going to go 1-0, and that's been our mindset all along. And yeah, our section is really tough for sure, and so anytime you can get a win in our section, it definitely boosts the confidence a little bit.
Where have you seen maybe the confidence grow the most? What has stood out to you when you've watched this team over the last few weeks?
I think it kind of started with the DGF win, and we knew that we could, going into that game, that we could hang with them, and coming out of that game with the win, I think our kids started to believe, yeah, we can do this, and each week it's just been a stepping stone. And like I said earlier, just kind of focus on the week and the preparation, going 1-0, and you can just see the kids' confidence rising as each week as we go through this season.
This might be a Captain Obvious question, but how much fun are you having? How much fun are the kids having here?
Oh, it's been a great year. The kids are really close. It's always fun when the kids are close and they all get along, and they're hard workers. I don't really have to get after them too much, and so yeah, they're just a fun group to be around. And if we just can take care of all the little things, the wins will keep taking care of themselves, hopefully.
Now, I guess on the flip side, do you have to not worry about being overconfident, but I guess in that vein, hey, we keep rolling, we got teams here we think we can beat. How do you guard against that for the last 2 games of the regular season?
Well, we don't underestimate any opponent. Thief River coming in tonight is going to be a tough one. They're kind of on a roll. They got some things figured out. They got 2 wins in a row, and they've always been a tough team to play. They're physical. They like to run the ball, and we just got to be ready each and every week and prepare and go into the game and establish the tone and see what happens.
I'm going to ask you something I know football coaches hate to do, but give me a couple guys that have stood out, maybe or surprised you so far this year on your team.
Well, I think our offensive line has been doing a phenomenal job all season. We had four guys returning on our starters on our offensive line, and I started working with them in the wintertime in the weight room and just really challenged them to transform their bodies, hit the weights hard, turn the little baby fat into muscle, and they've done a great job of doing that. And man, it's just been really fun watching those guys, and that's been a pleasant surprise to us. And we always knew we had playmakers, in the skill position, so that's really not a surprise. But I mean, Henry Bethel's having a phenomenal year. We have Jack Ratz and Levi King at the receiver positions having a great year. And then our running back positions, we have about 3 guys that can run the ball. So I know Karsten Froning, he was a senior. He went down with the shoulder thing week 3. He should be back tonight, but his brother Caleb's only a sophomore, and he's stepped in and done a phenomenal job. So that's been a great surprise.
Describe, it's Friday, it's game day. What has been just the atmosphere around school as this season's going along, and get ready for a big one tonight? Has it steadily been building for people getting excited about football?
Yeah, I think, school's definitely excited. And I had an AD that came from Montana. I had an AD out there that told me the football team's success determines the start of the school year and the whole school year. And I've always kind of taken that to heart.
Yeah.
And definitely, I think this start of this school year has been great here in Fergus Falls. And not claiming that's all on the football team, but it definitely makes a difference.
You mentioned you coached in Montana before you got the job in Fergus. Tell me about your experience there, that level of football, and trying to apply that experience to Fergus Falls.
Well, the biggest thing I take out of coaching in Montana kids are tough. There are a lot of farm and ranch kids out there, a lot of cowboy lifestyle. So I've really tried to bring that into Fergus Falls, and they've embraced it. And, I think our kids are playing a more physical style of football. They're tough kids. They do the hard things now. So that's really fun to see. And yeah, coaching in Montana was awesome. It was a great experience, and love the kids out there and miss it a lot, but we're doing a good job here in Fergus, so it's been fun.
I'm not familiar with Manhattan, Montana. Where is that at? What part of the state were you at?
So southwest Montana. It is 15 miles west of Bozeman, right off the interstate.
Okay,
yep.
So you're not too far from Bozeman then. All right.
No.
Okay, that's beautiful country out there. Holy cow. Your experience in Fergus, I guess, was it the job? But tell me how you got from Montana to Fergus Falls. Was it just a job opening?
Well, so my wife is from the area. Her parents live in Morris.
Okay.
So we had kind of like, well, our kids, we got young kids now, so we're like, we want to have them grow up with cousins, and so we're kind of looking. And my wife's cousin is a principal at Fergus Falls.
Oh, okay.
An assistant principal. He's actually one of my assistant coaches too. So I get to be the boss of him after school. He's the boss of me during school. So yeah, the job opened up, and it all worked out. The rest is history.
All right. So I have to ask, I don't know you, so I apologize for this. The handlebar mustache, is that part of the season, or is that just the look that you got going right now?
A little bit of both. So like I mentioned earlier, trying to establish that toughness mentality, the cowboy mentality, and it's the cowboy mustache. And so it reminds the kids every day, we got to be tough. We got to toughen up.
Are any of the guys doing the same thing? Can they do that right now at 17 or 18?
They're definitely trying. There's a few that do, and there's a couple coaches that have got on board too. So it's been kind of fun.
How much fun are you having doing this? I know you got the job a couple years ago to now have this kind of success. Just you've been around football forever. How much fun are you having right now?
This has definitely been very rewarding, a lot of fun to see the kids buy in and to turn this thing around and to put in the work that it takes to be successful. So it's just really fun and rewarding to see the kids understand, not just in football, but in real life. You got to work for what you want, and you got to work hard to get things, and nothing's ever given, and you got to earn it. So it's been fun watching that. You
have a family showdown now. Could you play Morris in a couple weeks? Is there anything on the line in that one?
Well, yeah, that's going to be a tough game. Probably going to decide the 1 and 2 seed in our section. But like I said, we got to get through Thief River tonight. Yeah. They're going to be ready to play. We're going to get their best. But yeah, we're definitely looking forward to that game.
I really appreciate the time. Thanks so much for doing this. Good luck tonight. We'll catch up down the road, okay?
Sounds great. Thank you.
Chris Grabowska joining us, head football coach at Fergus Falls. The Otters will take on Thief River Falls tonight. I know that's one of the games we'll be featuring on First Down Friday as well. What a run for them, 6-0. And Fergus forever. I mean, they have their new turf field. It's not new anymore. Gosh, they probably had it now even longer than I think, probably 7-8 years. Traditional power in a lot of sports. Football has been up and down. I would say complete roller coaster. They've had some times where they've been really good, and then they had a stretch where I don't know if they won a football game for 2 or 3 years that they were not good. So to see, when I was looking through the rankings of the state the other day, just as we're getting near the end of the regular season, like, all right, who should we start highlighting? Who should we start focusing on? Fergus jumped right out of me in 3A football. And again, let me just run through some of the teams that they've beaten this season. They beat DGF. That alone will get your attention because DGF's been amazing over the last 5 or 6 years. They won at DL. They beat Eastside. They won by 27 at Perham. Nobody wins by 27 at Perham. And they blitzed Little Falls last week. That alone, those 4 wins, that makes people, I would think, stand up and sit up okay, they're awfully darn good, and they've certainly played that way so far this year. So thanks to Chris for giving us a few minutes here this morning. We're overdue for a break. We'll take one now. We'll wrap up our one. Big second hour on tap as we roll on a Football Friday edition of Hot Mike. We're back after this.